Oof. You ready?
No! When you want to live here, you'll basically have two challenges.
Oh my goodness! A needlefish just almost jumped over my board.
Full moon party, way busier.
One.
Stunning, huh?
Look at this view, yeah.
We just arrived on Koh Phangan after 3 months in Africa, where we had the pleasure of driving through the wonders of Namibia. And then we learned what it's like to live in what was named the world's best city, Cape Town. We even started our dream of learning how to sail there. So after all of this, why do we keep coming back to this tiny Thai island? Look at this view, you guys. We've been coming to Koh Phangan for several years now. I lost count how many times we arrived here by ferry. Why? Well, it's a beautiful island. It's a relaxed and easy life. And by coming here so often, we made a lot of friends. But when you want to live here like long term, or for like a couple of months to try it out, you'll basically have two challenges, in my opinion. The first one is noise. This island has gotten so popular over the last couple of decades that you're not the only tourist or nomad or whatever anymore here. You have to share. It's hard to find accommodation because of that demand. There's a lot of construction going on here, building villas and houses, apartments, and I don't know what. So believe it or not, but it's actually quite hard to avoid noise on this, what seems like a paradise island. The whole coastline, especially on the west side of the island, is full of restaurants and bars. So most of the people that live here longer term, including the locals, they live a little bit more inland, where it's quieter, more peaceful. The second challenge you will likely face is the price. If you don't know where to look, you will probably pay the same price for a month as you would pay in any European big city. There's an increasing number of international property developers or business owners on the island, and prices just go up and up. It's not easy to find an affordable place to stay. So what did we find in all of this? Well, we thought we were super lucky. We took a risk and booked 1 month in a bungalow that we thought was next to a quiet side street. As it turned out, it was far from quiet.
Just arrived here a couple days ago, and the house is really nice, but has one problem. This is a very busy road here, so problem with the noise is just that it's constant traffic noise. Constant, like until like 3 a.m. you'll still hear like really loud engines, big motorcycles.
It was a really busy road, and Ali and I just could not stay there. We couldn't sleep properly, we couldn't work properly. It was a no-go. Perchance, with a lot of luck and effort from mostly Ali, we found this place. I'm so happy that we got here.
So we found something else, which means 4 days after we arrived, we move again, and we could only get a partial refund, which is a real bummer because it means we threw away a lot of money. In Germany we say Lehrgeld. Yeah, but now we've packed, so it's just like instead of fitting everything into our suitcases, we just have like these random bags, so we don't have to spend too much time. We're moving, and maybe in 10 days we'll move again, but yay, island paradise, except for the noise and the building and everything. Lola, the ride's here. Hi. Just turn this like this. You wanna sit in the back of the truck? Yeah, so that's why I didn't want to drive in here. It's so steep. Woo. I think that's all. Hey, oh, what's your name?
It's a completely new, like, apartment kind of complex. Everything is fresh, modern. It feels a little bit like living in a shipping container, but everything I need is there. I love it so far. And the best part is, we have a very, very special guest here on the premises. Let me show you. Who is there? Meow meow, sleepyhead. Meow. The day we arrived here and pulled our suitcases inside, this cat just came running and meowing and just like basically pushed herself into our lives. She was super skinny, super hungry.
I feel like I saw her even when I was doing the viewing.
Really?
Now that I think of it.
The question is though, what do you do with a cat like that? Little did we know that this ball of fur was going to absolutely wreck us over the next weeks and present one of the biggest dilemmas of our lives. But that's for the next video. After a rough first week on the island, we needed to remind ourselves of why we came here again. And this is one of the best places to do so. This is the sandbank at Hin Kong, sitting pretty on the west side of Koh Phangan. One of our favorite spots that only appears twice a day.
Stunning, huh?
Look at this view, yeah. We're walking in the middle of the bay on a sandbank.
On a Saturday. On a Tuesday, actually. Your unemployed friend on a random Tuesday at, what is it in Germany?
At sunset, it becomes a gathering place for many residents of the island to slow down at the end of the day and take in the beautiful view.
Koh Phangan beaches are definitely still super beautiful, especially around sunset. But you just won't have them to yourself.
I mean, it depends where you go, right? Definitely not here.
You think there is any beach left on the island where you'll be alone? Like where?
I can imagine somewhere further north. It can be like really quiet.
Yeah,
Like
but those two
place
are full of accommodation.
Yeah, but where? Yeah. Look at that blue there between the pink and the orange. So sick.
And just hope that everyone treats it as precious as it is.
It's lovely to come to Hin Kong after a long day of sitting on our laptops. With our destination Thailand visa, we can work remotely from Thailand for up to 6 months at a time. And Koh Phangan just offers so many beautiful places to relax and enjoy while doing so.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
What was that about? Taking a rest day?
Oh, sorry, my shoes were in your face again.
But another reason why we keep coming back here goes beyond the beauty and into the convenience of living here. On a small island, you're always just a scooter ride away from whatever you need, like food.
Here you go.
But this time around, leaving our new house was not for the faint of heart. This is the first day that Ali actually drove the scooter up to our house. Because, let us show you why.
I think it's very obvious if you look at the background. It's like so tilted. Let me just show you. It's steep, y'all.
But now we also have to go down.
Yeah, the part up was actually the easier one. So.
Should I just walk?
No, you hop on there.
Okay.
You ready?
No!
Holy shit. Wow. Hectic.
Feedback.
You've done it, Lauren.
We made it.
No.
The first part was definitely the scariest and the steepest.
The fact that you have to hold the brakes the whole time so hard just makes you like wonder. Also, it's so funny. Like for us, this is now just normal to drive, even though this is like an insane road
This is
to drive.
Let me try to catch it.
And now this. I knew this was gonna happen.
We survived this mighty descent to arrive at one of our favorite restaurants on the island, Yayas. A family-owned restaurant where you dine Thai classics with a modern twist. In a sustainability-inspired art garden. We usually come here multiple times a week, and the following are our favorite dishes for lunch break. Stir-fried vegan fish with Thai vegetables, and pad see ew, or thick rice noodles, topped with something very creative.
Look at this. A plant-based egg. Oh my god. This is one of the main reasons why I love coming here.
I like both the crunch and the waxiness. It's like what I used to mainly eat eggs like that when I was still eating eggs.
And look at this. Plant-based fish. And it tastes great. I think I just saw the cook pick this Thai basil fresh off the bush right back there. How nice is that?
It's really
Everything here is fresh and homemade, or even homegrown in the beautiful garden. A treat every time. And then, after the usual chore of getting drinking water, it's time for us to head back to work, but not without the thrill of our steep driveway. So far, returning to Koh Phangan is often about enjoying familiar comforts. It's an easy life, and we've been coming back to it every time over the last 3 winters.
already a ton of fish here.
Really? But because life on Koh Phangan is so convenient, it almost makes you a little bit lazy. Can you believe that I've never stand-up paddled before here on Koh Phangan? Even though the water is like so inviting for it. It's a really popular activity for sunset, but I personally think it's too busy then. I love coming in the morning because then the beach is just much quieter, and that's how I like it. Look at these waters. So no matter how many times we return, I make sure that we keep seeing and doing new things. But how do you do that on a tiny island where you think you've seen it all? See some fish?
Yeah, tons of fish here. Very good visibility today.
Nice.
But we don't trust the Insta360 to go in the water without a dive case because of what happened with our GoPro, which claimed to be waterproof too.
Should we go to the sandbank? Doesn't hear me. This is kind of the line where the reef will continue for a little bit more and then it gets deeper, but also more interesting, like really big boulders full of coral and fish. And that reminds me that I wanted to tell you that if you go swimming, it's really important to wear a sunscreen that doesn't damage the reef. And these days, most sunscreens state that on their packaging. Look how clear this water is today. It's just stunning. Oh my goodness! A needlefish just almost jumped over my board. I'm really happy he wasn't 1 meter to the back. Oh, Ali has seen something.
Like right in front of you, there's like 20, 30 fish eating So if you point the camera a bit further, I don't know if you can see it.
Right here?
I'll just swim along with them.
Turns out it's really difficult to see fish when you're not in the water. And now we've entered one of my favorite parts of this bay, which is something we like to call the sandbank. It's like an area where there isn't that much coral. So it's just this white sand covered by this super beautifully clear water. And it looks amazing. And when the tide is low enough, you can also stand here. Because it's so hot, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm just not sure if it's low enough for me to go off my board. Ah! Oh, there's quite some swell. It's like half the stand-up paddle. The swell is just too big for me to let go of my board, and I don't have a string attached to my ankle. So the board is just gonna drift away and then I'm gonna lose it. But I can do... Oh! Oh yes, that's it. Besides exploring the waters, the cool thing about living on a tiny jungle island is finding new treasures buried in what you thought was just jungle. Along a road we had driven on many times, one day we noticed the contours of a temple we had never seen before. Two large dragon statues invited us into what seemed like a small, hidden place. But once we arrived inside, a huge area full of different levels of worship revealed itself. And what we found was quite interesting.
Definitely when I learned Thai. Especially like this rule 16. Once a year, go someplace you've never been before. Because it could mean a lot of things, right? Like, what is some place? Is it like a physical location? Or is it like a mental state? Or just like outside of what you're used to in general? A lot of these rules make me think like that.
Yeah, can apply them to many things. There was so much to discover at this temple. Koh Phangan is a mountainous island, and this temple fully integrated that landscape. So we could literally level up our experience by following the stairs to another floor of surprises. And of course, the Thai temple dogs were there to keep us company. Wow, I've never seen something like this before. There's like different mini altars with animals on them. And I wonder why there's Burmese next to it.
Sure it's Burmese?
I think so. Just keeps on going. I wonder where we end up now. So because we now live in a different location, we randomly found this super cool temple driving, around the island. And except for this very high pitch that you might hear in the background, which is probably some cricket or something, such a peaceful place. Koh Phangan is often known as either the party island or nowadays like the spiritual healing island. Koh Phangan has definitely also gotten way busier. Right now we have a bit of a quiet time again because the full moon party is behind us. That's usually the couple of days where the island becomes like super busy with scooters, with party goers. But right now it has calmed down again, and in places like this you can find like real peace, you know. I always wonder though if this island to foreigners is about, you know, spirituality, then why is no one here? Where is everyone? Isn't this like one of the places for that? I guess people just have different versions of what they, you know, believe in, what they come here for. But yeah, I find that interesting. Would you say that Koh Phangan in 2026 is still like chill?
In some ways, yeah. I think it still has something, but it's definitely changing a lot. Yeah.
In what ways?
It's just getting busier and busier every time. So much construction, and yeah, I mean the FOMO party is still like what causes an insane amount of busyness every time, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But more long-termers too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people. But I mean, I'm curious how the crackdown on tourist visa long-termers will affect everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty curious.
There's no doubt that Koh Phangan feels different today. But that feeling all depends on how long ago you visited. So far, we enjoyed our old comforts and discovering new things on the island that has kind of become our second home. But what we didn't know yet was that in the next weeks, one particular discovery here was going to radically change our experience of the island. Our new apartment came with something extra that looked like quite the challenge. And we decided to take that challenge, leading to one of the most difficult experiments we had set up for ourselves. But right now, I feel like I can just not do it. She was obviously so starved and wouldn't leave us alone. What do you do with a cat like that? It is day 5 of trying to train Ray.
Wrong direction.
Subscribe to come along soon and comment your thoughts and questions below. Thank you for watching.
Sick.